Hello and welcome to UFC 4 10.0 patch notes and fighter updates. Hit that like and subscribe button before we get on to anything else. It helps me out tremendously. The first thing we're going to be looking at today is the UFC 4 patch notes 10.0. So major updates: added 2 new fighters, Rob Font and Cyril Gain. Venom gear has now replaced Reebok gear. Fight kits can now be selected during the fighting selection. Daniel Cormier has been updated to a legend and is 5 stars overall in light, heavyweight and heavyweight. Some of the stuff we covered in yesterday's video, but there's going to be some more stuff as well to dive into this one. First of all, the Venom gear. I'm just going to recap what we showed yesterday. You can now pick your shorts, so you have different selections. Most fighters have these selections. Some people don't, like Max Holloway I noticed didn't, maybe because he's from Hawaii and difficult to pick his shorts. But then we look at Cyril Gain. You've just seen Rob Font in the game. Cyril Gain right there is now in the game. You can see the championship shorts there from Miocic, which I can't stand, but you know, it's a bit of, a lot of people are positive, so I don't mind. Daniel Cormier is now 5 stars, as we said. And community feedback: fixed inconsistency in major back lunges with Cruz and Dillashaw. Significantly increased the null window to cage back clinch back drive. Now that's a massive one because there's going to be a lot about on that one. So we're going to show you guys what that means. 2 seconds. So this is what they meant by the back lunges, the slowed down from Cruz and Dillashaw, and this is what they meant by the back clinch, back drag position. So they've improved this, they've made a lot of changes to this, so I'm going to read them out here. The takedown was quite fast considering it leads to back sitting, which is a dominant position. It was often working as a shortcut to a powerful rear naked choke. This nerf to the takedown should make the choke considerably harder to access, specifically because nerfing the back drive also indirectly nerfs the mix up with the back pack. So they're trying to mix up the back pack and the back drag. Unlike high-low mix-ups that involve throws, this back drive backpack mix-up does not have an anti-fuzzy guard mechanic. This means a skilled defender can hold high block in case the attacker attempts to backpack, then switch it to a low block and still defend the back drag in time. This doesn't take the defender completely out of the woods because there might be still a follow-up turn to defend. However, these turns lead to only side control and can generally be at least scrambled on reaction. So what this basically means is that when someone tries to jump on your back with a backpack, you can keep your hand on R2 to stop that, but as soon as they start dragging you back, you can camp on the low blocks, or R2 and L2 together, to block that low block, I believe. But there'll be other options for them. They have to watch out for the turn, for instance, which is incredibly hard to block, and a few other stuff as well. It is also important to remember that when the back drive is initiated, the defender should let go of the left stick as soon as possible if they were walking to escape from the back cage back clinch. Otherwise, the left stick input will be interpreted as an attempt to defend a turn and can lead to a successful back drag. So if you're walking forward to try and get out of that clinch position and they start dragging you back, you need to let go of that immediately. Finally, also considering that although the back drag backpack is being nerfed heavily, the regular body lock throws from the cage back clinch benefit from the anti-fuzzy guard logic. This means that the defender is camping on the high block as part of the option select strategy in defending the backpack drag mix-up. The attacker can now use a regular body lock throw to possibly succeed, and the defender was holding high block. This should give these throws a nice niche, as they used to be underwhelming. So you're now going to get a lot of people trying to throw you instead of trying to drag you back, which is going to be a bit more interesting. Nerf one thing, buff another, etc. It's what it does. Now this one's huge. Increased recoveries for advancing slipping rear hook. The slipping hook has been major complaint from the community for a while. We managed to nerf it. We finally managed to nerf it by increasing all of its recoveries. This means they can no longer be performed in very quick succession. Furthermore, the special counter for a block to a lead hook consistently works against it. Now there is no time to block it or slip it. This is huge because everyone complains about the slip hook, and now you're not going to be able to spam it over and over again. You're also going to be able to counter it, and I'm going to show you guys how easy it is now to counter the slip hook. It's super effective as well to counter this, so we'll show you right now. So first of all, you can kind of plant your ground. You just throw the hook as they're throwing the rear hook. Very easy, right? And the next one, you're going to block it, and you're going to throw the lead hook. Block, lead hook, and it's just going to counter them every time you do it. It'll land. Lead hook. They're not going to have time to get the hands back up to the face. So there you go. Fixed bad state in under over strikes against the submissive trip. Fixed mirroring issue in over under breaking the knee. The submissive fighter's stance no longer warps around the separation, and Jake Matthews' likeness has been updated. I don't know about the first three because I haven't really experienced them before, but I'm glad they're updating stuff. And there's Jake Matthews. The next part we're going to be looking at, guys, is UFC 4 patch 10.0 fighter updates. The bit that you mostly have came for. Francis Ngannou is now set as the heavyweight champion of the world and had numerous stats buffed, including a power buff to 100. But we'll look at them right now. Francis Ngannou got a buff chin by 2 to 96, a buff recovery from 1 to 91. Francis Ngannou has his punch power buff from by 1 to 100, accuracy buff from 3 to 94, footwork buff by 2 to 93, takedown defense buff from 3 to 92, kick power buff from 3 to 91, and kick speed buff from 1 to 90. So tons of buffs for Francis Ngannou. As you can see right there, he's sitting pretty at the top of the heavyweight division, and all of his buffs, you can see how they match up, but he looks like an absolute beast. I have played with him. He was very, very good. You have to watch your stamina with him, your cardio, but the power is phenomenal. Like, you just catch somebody once, you can knock him clean out, so they've got to be careful. Huge problem in that division. Next one, Tai Tuivasa received a Bulldog perk, had his punch power buff by 2 to 95, kick power buff from 1 to 91. He also received a level 4 tie kick and calf kick, and as well as a level 3 hook. So some major buffs for Tai Tuivasa, especially the calf kick, the 4-star calf kick for him. That's going to be an interesting one. His power's gone up as well, so he's going to be a problem punching people. Still no Derek Lewis in that heavyweight division, which cracks me up. It makes me mad, but it is what it is. Tai Tuivasa will be happy. Stipe Miocic had his chin buff by 1 to 96 and his recovery nerfed by 1 to 94. So they took one off him and gave him another one, so he's actually got a better chin with a worse recovery in between rounds. And Stipe is literally not going to suffer at all from that one. I don't believe. Everyone will still kind of use him. I don't think he plays like Stipe in this game, but you know, I like to see the hair change. Derek Brunson had his head movement buffed by 3, top control buffed by 1, sub defense buffed by 2, and his recovery buffed by 3. Derek Lewis, not somebody I play with. If you do play with Derek Lewis, fair play to you, because he's not somebody I use in ranked especially or in competitive scene. But he's getting better, I guess. He's still not in the top 15 of the echelon, you know, in the top fighters, but a lot of people aren't, so it is what it is. UFC for Thomas Almeida had his punch and kick speed nerfed by 1 and his chin buffed by 2, so they took 2 off him and then added 2 to him, so you know, it's not bad. His speed's gone down slightly, but his chin's gone up by 2, so he's still kind of a usable character, but in that bantamweight division you don't see him a lot because of the amount of usable characters, so I don't think it's going to make too much of an impact on this game. The next one is Tyron Woodley has his head movement nerfed by 1 and his clinch control nerfed by 1, so he's been taken down by 2, but again, you're not going to feel it. Like, that's not a big nerf. He's been beat 3-4 times in a row and he's barely been nerfed. He's still in the top fighters as well, so Tyron Woodley has been lucky in that one sense. Vicente Luque has been buffed to 4.5 stars, has his punch speed, his power and chin all increased. Luque was also given a buffed jab to a level 2, my favourite animation from whoever written that. Yeah, so UFC doesn't actually provide us with this information. We have to go and kind of look at it, and UFC News Update 1 actually did this for us, thank God. But there you can see him there in the division number 7. Luque is now a very usable character. And here's my favourite part, O'Malley's buff today. So 4 plus accuracy, 3 plus head movement, 3 plus footwork, 1 switch stance, 3 kick power, 1 kick speed, 3 cardio and 2 chin. So massive. That's a buff. Now that is a buff. That is somebody they're like, yeah, use this guy again because he was 3.5 stars and we need you to use him again because Sean O'Malley's a beast. So thank you for that, EA. I'm looking forward to using Sean O'Malley like many other people, but as you can see, let's quickly look at him and how he matches up in that division. And he's good because of the amount of tools he's got, you know. But his stand-up looks fantastic. He looks phenomenal. His movement looks good. His health stats are a bit sus, but I'm looking forward to using Sean O'Malley. He feels like a longer version of a Conor McGregor type character without the power. That was much power, but I'm definitely... if he wins another fight or 2, he's going to be buffed to a 4.5 star, 4.5 star, so very usable character in the future. Well, hopefully, guys, this was helpful. Please drop that like and subscribe button. It helps me out massively, and I appreciate everybody that came through. Hopefully it's helpful for you. See you later. Bye.